You just highlighted another thing that today people are a lot more sparky. We want to find that single word, that single context that's going to trigger us. In the story you just said there, straight away, the guy was looking for a way to find out what the other person said that's going to trigger him into a negativity. Oh, you just called me short. Okay. Isn't that just validating how bad we are today at communicating? And isn't communicating what we should be focusing on, whether it be in the word of discussions, knowledge, salesmanship? Isn't really, if you drag it down to its core, we're really shit at communicating today.
Yeah, and it's even worse for younger people because all they do is text, right? And we talked about, a lot of people have talked about this, where they'll take a week to text somebody back and forth, which if they picked up the phone, they could get it done in 2 minutes, right? And so I think people are afraid to communicate. I want to know the tones and inflections in your voice when I'm talking to you, so I understand that you understand what I'm saying in a text or an email. How many times have you sent something and people taking it wrong, just because they don't know what you're really saying? I mean, you can say you're an asshole 2 different ways, with a smile and people joke about it, or you can be a real, and yell it at them, and it's a totally different way of taking it. And I think just these days, people just aren't used to having those skills, and they need it. And that was one of the things I wanted to do, is put together a whole seminar and different stuff, on this kind of stuff, because I see it with the agents I deal with. A lot of the younger ones, I have to teach them how to sell. And they're not my people. I work with them, but I have to tell them, okay, all right, here's a couple little closes you could do to make this easier, so that our clients will understand what you're trying to do for them.
I have a friend of mine in the Vegas police force that you know who I'm talking about. And she said quite openly that when the youngsters come in to actually get into the force, the first thing you're doing is looking at the top of their head, because they're so used to looking down, because today eye contact is almost an offensive thing. You start staring at someone, they can like, what's your problem? We're not used to having that eye contact, and that makes communication harder, which again makes people feel intimidated when they're being sold to. It's a constant circle, isn't it? And it's vicious to break that pattern, to get someone to understand that, hey, I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm trying to educate you on something that's going to be the best thing for you.